experienced it. Avli is standing by to hear more about that comeback win.
Thanks, Flowers. Niski, congratulations on the win against TSM. It was looking a little dark for you guys during the game, so tell me about that comeback. Tell me about the team fight and how you guys were able to take the game.
I mean, I think when Zoe ulted in, I think, she had no flash, and then we legit all scrimmed, just give Zoe and then win the game, and then Dennis just went ham. He put her at 1 HP, and then Licorice just flashed on her, and then that's when we knew that we won the game.
Now, I believe you guys are 4 weeks, no losses, just wins for Cloud9. But Saturday, next Saturday, you guys take on Team Liquid, the team that took the loss off of you guys at the beginning of the split. What is going to make that day different?
I mean, I think we're a better team right now, at least, because I'm feeling more comfortable with the team. And I do believe that against TL in the first week, I played really bad. And I want my revenge against Jensen. So, yeah, we're going to win.
Niski, thank you so much. And you heard it, Jensen. He's coming for you. That's it for us here. Back to the State Farm Analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. And after today's match, I am even more excited for Niski v. Jensen rematch from that first game of the split. But in reality, our top 3 teams in the league right now is really starting to heat up that race at the moment.
I mean, this was a good game. I think both teams actually played pretty well to what they drafted towards in terms of one was a poke comp and one was a team fight comp without much engaged. So they had to get pretty creative to start winning some fights after they fell behind.
Right. It was a few small blunders from TSM that made them lose the game. Up until that point, they were playing extremely well, getting their poke comp ahead so that they can start poking at objectives. They got 2 Barons and Elder Dragon, and they still lost. And at that point, it's only due to a small few blunders that are easily fixable.
Yeah, and the Nico last pick, I think everyone's hyped about. That
first
came out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, this is surprising into Aatrox, not like what anyone was expecting, but it makes sense in their team comp a little bit because you have a poke comp. Nico does have some extra CC to kind of set up this line pick skill shot type team where if you land a VAR assault, you get the root. If Zoe lands a sleep, you get the root. And so each of them can kind of throw out their fishing tools, and as soon as one lands, you blow that person up. So that was kind of how their comp wanted to work, as well as being, a mage champ in the top lane versus a melee early on to get priority.
That's what I was going to say. Immediate CS lead off the get-go. Of course, Acadian threw some attention to the mid lane to get Bjergsen rolling, and then after Bjergsen's rolling, they transfer some of that pressure to the top lane, and lo and behold, they've got some winning mages and exactly can push their advantage as a poke composition. But hey, we highlighted that mid lane featured matchup, so let's take a look at how they did.
Yeah. Right. Bjergsen, as we said before, he was #1, I believe, at kills and assists at 15 outside of his lane. You saw that game. He pushed in mid after getting that early gank from Acadian, went top and killed top lane. So he's once again moving around to different parts of the map.
Yeah, he was the whole reason they kind of built that big lead in the early game. He had a huge CSD as well, so he was not only winning his lane, but like we were saying, it's not about diving mid, it's about getting else on the map. And once they had that set up, their team comp was looking pretty good. I mean, C9 did a really good job of making sure they didn't fall out of the neutral objective race, which is how a lot of teams have lost today, is one of the team gets all 5 of the elemental dragons, and then late game breaks down a little bit, and suddenly it's a big factor.
Right, but we did have 2 very stylistically different compositions, and so just kind of set the stage for me with the lead that TSM had, how they should be playing from mid to late game to continue to secure those advantages and ultimately win the game.
Right. At first, I was a bit hesitant about TSM's comp, but as I saw it flesh out, it made more and more sense to me. You come to them objective, they're going to throw 3 different kinds of CC at you. If any single one of them hits, they're going to throw all their damage at you, and someone's going to die. So you saw that at the first Baron where they got sneaky out of the forest. They land some CC on him, and then boom, he just gets blown up. And they keep doing that over and over and over again. You can't really survive that damage. How you survive the Zoe Q with the Varus Q and a Gragas Q too. It's just so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, they almost get Zazel too through like a spell shield and body blocking and everything. So you can see how potent that comp is when they're ahead because they have the vision control. And because they have the vision control, C9 doesn't know how low they're getting. And so Licorice teleports in way too soon, and they lose track of the Nico. This is a really good job by Broken Blade to go through the mid lane after the minion wave goes through so he can go and get behind them. And so even though, he's going to show up as Gragas on the tail end of this play, he's going behind where C9 wanted to use all their revive passes. Aatrox comes back up, and he's like, okay, I'm going to get the Kindred ult, but now he has to worry about the Nico ult coming in as well. So huge play by Broken Blade there to set up what we were anticipating to be kind of the game-ending fight from here.
Right, and like they did get the Baron off of this play right here. Despite it being really close, actually Sneaky comes in later and almost kills everyone, but they get the Baron, and then that's how you play that poke comp.
Yeah, 4 kills and a Baron from that point onward in a position where they were already ahead. That's where we talk about some of the mistakes coming through for TSM, maybe being discombobulated at moments and allowing C9 a few opportunities to stab their way back into the game.
Yeah, I think they got the bot inhibitor, and you're thinking, all right, great, this is probably over. Next Baron comes up, bot inhibitor pressure means they get it for free, and that's what happened. But as they were getting that, once again, we see the Infernal Drake or Elder Drake trays start coming in, and because they were just on the top side, TSM did not get any vision down around this. So Licorice is actually going to be able to find a huge potential flank up around that blue buff wall as everyone is kind of funneling in through mid lane. They also have Zeyzal down on the bot lane, so they're trying to mark where he's going to be coming from, but they don't exactly know. And Aatrox is going to hop the wall and basically be the entire reason that they're able to win this team fight, which is the only way they can.
Right. C9 can't really engage a fight without getting a flank. They don't have any good engage. So you need someone to come from behind and start the fight, and that's what Licorice did here. One, I do think is really impressive from C9 to start this Elder Dragon in the first place. I don't think most teams would have done it, and they forced a fight. They're like, we don't care if you're stronger, if you have Baron, whatever. We need to take the fight. We can't give you time to poke us out, and we're just going to make this happen.
Right, but that one good fight alone for C9 was not enough to end the game. In fact, on their own turf, we go to the final team fight. Again, maybe split decisions here from TSM, biting them a bit. But C9, they take their advantage and they follow through.
You can't split up as the poke comp. You have 3 in bot lane, 2 in mid lane. That's just asking to get engaged on because you don't have all your disengage tools there. And so even though they don't have great engage, like Hai was saying, at this point, if you're split up, you can run at them. You don't need a flank if not all your tools are there to disengage. And once they kind of get that fight started, even though Sven doesn't even get his ult out, you get to see how much more powerful C9's team fight comp is.
Right. And up until this point, I believe Bjergsen had almost a 100% kill participation throughout the entire game. And then this one blunder from him, whether it is that his call to do the split pushing or just him poking when he shouldn't have, caused them to lose the game. Because even at that point, they had 2 Barons under the belt, they had the Elder Dragon during that fight, and they still lost it just because he's out of position trying to throw stuff at Zoe. And oftentimes you get punished for that. When you do it too often, they're gonna be like, okay, you're annoying me, I'm just gonna run at you and try and kill you. And that's what Sunscared did.
Even in the loss, though, you can see why Bjergsen was voted by many to be top of that mid lane tier list. And of course, why Nisqy is still very much in that discussion. 8-game win streak for Cloud9, though. For me, that's the largest takeaway in all of this. And as Avali mentioned, they play TL in that rematch next Saturday. TL's only lost 1 game, and it's to the TSM squad that C9 just beat. But how are we feeling about C9's prospects against TL? As Nisqy says, he feels like he's warmed into the team in a much better fit now here in Week 6.
Well, the first time that they played, the game was relatively close for a lot of it, too. Like, they fell a bit behind because Nisqy made a few blunders, like he said himself in an interview. He did some plays that he wasn't really should have done, and he was a bit nervous. But now he looks a lot more comfortable, and that mid-lane matchup should have almost no disparity between them, unless, like, a level 2 Gragas game comes out again. But despite that, Nisqy still did really well in this game, being put behind, and he still put out good numbers. So moving forward to the Team Liquid game, I'm pretty confident in C9 now. They have an 8-game win streak under their belt, and they're looking really strong.
Don't think I haven't forgotten. Hai, being the incorrect and loser of the weekly wager, must forfeit his phone over to Mark Z for the remainder of the day. Social media accounts to be rated.
First tweet, follow Mark Z on Twitter. That's the first one coming out.
I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, well, we got to step away, but Licorice and Nisqy, they're returning for LCS cooldown later for a Silas 1v1. You can decide what ultimates they'll be using by spamming them in chat. So stay tuned during the break. When we return, it's Team Liquid versus CLG.
I need you on.
Everyone, say hi.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, Eric. What's up, man?
Wait, you guys talk separately?
No, we cannot.
Okay, can you all talk together again then?
Hey, what's up, man?
Pick one.
500 HP by the time he respawns. After light comes through, and this is the Cloud9 special.
Amanda? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. Nice. Nice.
I can get over here. Look again.
No. We win.
Look at me.
Remember the drowsy wasn't on him.
Have a nice day.
Here's your rune, here's your damage. But he's made his way into the fight now, nearly kills Sven Scare, and Sven makes sure of it. Licorice will slam Bjergsen into the ground in retaliation. Pop Blossom comes down. Licorice goes into the stasis. Broken Blade falls. Cloud9, is this your counterattack? Cloud9 coming back. They're swinging at the Nexus turret. They've already brought them both down. Acadian's in the ground. It's a
got your own